Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Am I audible? Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Am I audible? Is my voice is clear to all of you guys? Are you getting clear voice? Is my voice is clear to all of you? Is it clear? All right, it's okay, fine. Right now, so we are discussing about like what we are discussing actually. We are discussing about Java features. The topic here we are discussing. Java features is a topic here we are discussing. What exactly the meaning of Java features? What we are understanding about these Java features. All right. If you are thinking about the Java features, already we had some information about the Java features concepts here. To describe the nature of the Java programming language, Java has provided a set of features. What are the various features that are provided by Java programming language? We can understand clearly. The first one is what? Simple programming language. Second one is object-oriented programming language, platform-independent programming language, architectural neutral, portable, robust, or dynamic, secure, multi-threaded, distributed, interpretive, high-performance programming language. These are overall 12 number of Java features which are available. Then all these features are providing some description about our Java, the nature of the Java. They are giving information to us, the nature of the Java or description of the Java. That is exactly the meaning of like what there Java programming language. Java programming language, that information here we are getting clearly regarding this particular one. Right, all of you understand this clearly. This is clear-cut information related to this Java that we have to identify clearly. Okay, fine. That's okay, nice. After that, after completion of this particular one, what about the next one here? A simple programming language. What is the meaning of this simple programming language, guys? What you are understanding about the simple programming language? Java is a simple programming language. Why? Because Java applications will take less execution time and less memory. Java has removed all the confusion-oriented features like pointers, multiple inheritance, and so on. Java is using all the simplified syntaxes when compared with other programming languages like C and C++. They are the reasons why we can conclude that Java is what? A simple programming language. Next one is after that. Java is what? An object-oriented programming language. Java is an object-oriented programming language because it is able to represent data in the form of objects as per the object-oriented features like class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. Right? By using these features, by having these features, we are able to represent. That means by using these features only, we are able to represent data in the form of objects. So because of that reason, Java is what there is an object-oriented programming language that we understood clearly. Next one is platform-independent programming language. Java is a platform-independent programming language because Java allows its applications to perform compilation on one operating system and execution is on another operating system. So because of that reason, Java is like what there? It's a platform independent programming language. Similarly, Java is an architectural neutral programming language. How? How can you say Java is an architectural neutral programming language? 1 minute. How can you say Java is an architectural neutral programming language here? If you observe this clearly, here we can conclude that Java allows its applications, Java allows its applications to perform compilation on one hardware system and the execution is on another hardware system. So because of this reason, hardware independent nature, because of this particular reason, we can conclude that Java is what there an architectural neutral programming language. All right, then after this, after completion of this point here, Java is a portable programming language. How can we say Java is a portable programming language? Java is a portable programming language. Why? Because we are able to change the operating system and the hardware system without having changes in the Java application. When Java application is executing there, without having changes, we are able to change our operating system and as well as hardware system without having changes in our Java program. So because of this reason, we can conclude that Java is what there a portable programming language. Right, so now this is the meaning of like what there portable. Next one is what there after completion of this, then what next one here we are understanding there, no? A robust programming language. Guys, already I given yesterday the total information related to a robust programming language that you already aware, right? Yeah, guys, now I'm asking this question to all of you guys. Now please answer for me. How can we say Java is a robust programming language? First of all, before this Java, I'm asking you straightly, when a programming language is robust programming language, when we are able to say a programming language is a robust programming language, tell me. When we are able to say a programming language is a robust programming language. Right, sir. Yeah, as we already aware about it, no? But the very first one is like what then? So very good memory management system and good exception handling mechanisms. Very good memory management system and good exception handling mechanisms. If you have that, then that programming language is what? Is a robust programming language. It's not more than this. Okay, now again, kid, I'm telling you, the point is very clear. All of you guys observe carefully. Here, what is the point here I'm telling to you? Java is a robust programming language because of two reasons. Not only this Java, now in general, any programming language, if you want to make it is a robust programming language, that programming language must be good at two areas. What are the two areas here? No, one is exception handling, another one is what there memory management system. Now here we can identify this clearly. I'm telling to you, Java is a robust programming language. Java is a robust programming language. Why? Because what is the reason for it? What is the internal reason here? Why? Because point number one, Java has a very good memory management system in the form of heap memory management system, that is a dynamic memory management system. It allocates and it deallocates memory for the objects at a runtime. Guys, everybody understand this clearly? Java has a very good memory management system in the form of heap memory management system, that is a dynamic memory management system. It allocates and deallocates memory for the objects at runtime as per the requirement. As per the requirement. Without having any requirement, we will not assign memory here. So this is the meaning of like what there memory management system where Java is very good. Only because of heap memory management system, there's a dynamic memory management system. It allocates and deallocates memory for the sake of the application requirements. That's okay, fine. This is one thing. Next one is Java has a very good exception handling mechanisms. Java has a very good exception handling mechanisms. Why? Because Why? Because Java has provided a very good predefined library. Java has provided a very good predefined library to represent and handle almost all the exceptions which are coming frequently, in Java applications. Right. Java is a robust programming language. Why? Because first one is Java has a very good memory management system in the form of heap memory management system. That is a dynamic memory management system. It allocates and deallocates memory for the objects at runtime as per the requirement. But the second one is what the Java has a very good exceptionality mechanisms. Why? Because Java has provided a very good predefined library to represent and handle almost all the exceptions which are coming frequently in Java applications. Guys, observe carefully. This is the point here what I'm telling you. This is about like what their robust programming language. Next one is after that dynamic programming language. Yeah, robust programming language. This is the max information. Yesterday I given some information to you guys. Now we are going to understand like what their dynamic programming language. Guys, I'm asking to all of you now try to answer for it. Everybody respond for me. What is dynamic programming language? First of all, now tell me. After that, we will think about Java. Whether Java is dynamic or not, later on we will decide this. First of all, what is dynamic programming language? Any idea to say about dynamic programming language? Now tell me. Yes, perfect, Rajesh. Guys, all remain members. Chandrasekhar, right. Right. Guys, everybody, please respond to me. When a programming language is a dynamic programming language, when a programming language is acting as a dynamic programming language. Right. Now here I'm giving information to you. Now try to understand it clearly. If any programming language is providing memory allocation for the primitive data at a runtime, not at compilation time. If any programming language is providing memory allocation for the data at runtime, not at compilation time, then that programming language is called a dynamic programming language. Everybody answer for me. If any programming language is providing memory allocation for the data at runtime, data in the sense primitive data only by default, at runtime, then that memory allocation is called as dynamic memory allocation, and that programming language is called as what there dynamic programming language. Everybody try to recognize the point here what I'm telling you clearly. All right, now understand this clearly. If any programming language allows memory allocation, not if any programming language, just direct I want to give conclusion here. Java guys, observe carefully. Java is a dynamic programming language. Java is a dynamic programming language. Why? Because it allows memory allocation for the data at a runtime. It allows memory allocation for the data at a runtime. It allows memory allocation for the data at a runtime, not at compilation time. Just I'm talking about default memory allocations, guys. Try to understand it clearly. Alright, sir. Now we can identify this clearly. Java is a dynamic programming language. Java is a dynamic programming language. Why? Because it allows memory allocation for the data at runtime, not at compilation time. So because of that reason, Java is what there a dynamic programming language. Understand it clearly. Guys, already you aware about it. What is compilation time and what is runtime? Already we had some information related to this compilation time and all these points here, right? I think it's at very starting point of the classes I given that compilation time and runtime. But anyway, then once again here, I'm going to explain to you about this compilation time and runtime, these points here. Now try to recognize this. The differences between Java and others are given there. Yeah, in the differences between Java and others. Now, exactly if we observe this diagram here, understand it clearly. What is the difference between compilation time and runtime? If you understand it clearly, first of all, we have written a program. Now, this is the execution engine. Execution engine is able to understand low-level language. C program I have written in what there high-level language. So here, if we want to run our program, we need to convert our program from high-level language to low-level language. For conversion point of view, we are using what there compilation. Okay. All right. Whenever we compile our program into the low-level language .exe file, that we can execute. That if we give that to the C engine, it will execute it and it able to provide output. Moreover, for checking errors also here we are using what there compilation. Compilation is for two things. One is what there translating program from high level language to low level language, and next one is what there error checking. Error checking is another advantage of like what there like a compilation. So the time when we perform compilation, that is called as what there static, that means compilation time. The time when we perform execution, that is called as what there runtime. All right, sir. Now at compilation time, if you perform any memory allocation, then it is called as what there static memory allocation. At runtime, if you provide any memory allocation, then it is called as what there dynamic memory allocation. If any programming language is following static memory allocation, then that programming language is what there static programming language. If any programming language is following dynamic memory allocation, then that programming language is what there dynamic programming language. That's it. So this is the information related to compilation and as well as like what their execution. Yeah, try to understand it, guys, what I'm telling to you. That's okay, fine. So now here we are talking about what programming language actually is a dynamic programming language here we are talking. What is the meaning of this dynamic programming language here? If any programming language follows dynamic memory allocation, then that programming language is what their dynamic programming language. It means that if the memory allocation is going on at runtime, not at compilation time, then that programming language is called as what their dynamic programming language. Right, it's okay, fine. Now this is completed. Next one is after that secure programming language. Guys, everybody try to understand it. Secure programming language. What's the meaning of this secure programming language? What's your understanding about the secure programming language? Or before that, when a programming language is a secure programming language. All right, sir. Now I'm giving clarity for you. Now try to understand it clearly. If any programming language is providing security at all possible cases of the applications, then that programming language is a secure programming language. Say for example, in general for the applications we require three levels of security or three types of security. What are the three levels of security? First one is local security. Inside the applications we need security. Second one is what their web security, web application security. Third one is what their network security. At network applications, that means at network, when we transfer the data in the network, there if we provided security, then that security is called as what their network security. Understand this clearly, all of you know? All right. Now secure programming language, if you want to take, no, three levels of security in general we are observing. What are the three levels of security? Implicit security, next one is the web security, and next one is what their network security. I'll give clarity. What is the meaning of each and every one? Try to understand it clearly. Java is a secure programming language. Java is a secure programming language. Why? Because Java is a secure programming language. Why? Because Java is able to provide the following levels of the following three levels of security. What are the three levels of security here? We have to identify. The very first one is like what there implicit security. Implicit security. And what is the meaning of this implicit security, guys? Observe carefully. Internal, inside the Java program, if you provide any security, that means inside the Java program, in the sense, whenever we are trying to interpret the bytecode, whenever we are trying to interpret the bytecode, there's some security here we provided. That type of security is nothing but what there, like internal security. That is nothing but what there, implicit security. To provide implicit security, Java has provided a separate component inside the JVM. We know already JVM is executing our programs. JVM is executing our programs. So when we are executing Java programs with our JVM, JVM is providing implicit security for our code. That internal security is possible with JVM by using a separate component. Now that component is called as what there? Security manager. A separate component was provided inside the JVM to provide this implicit security. Then that separate component is what there? Security manager. Due to the security manager, we can conclude that Java is providing what their implicit security effectively. And once again, I'm telling you, now try to understand it clearly. To provide implicit security, Java has provided a separate component, internally inside the JVM, that is security manager. That is what their security manager. Because of this reason, we can conclude that Java is very good at like what their implicit security because of the security manager. All right, nothing else. Whenever we are executing the bytecode is in well-formed format or not, the bytecode is having any misformations or not, that everything could be checked through with the help of like what their security manager. That's why Java is very good at implicit security. Okay, fine. Next one is what? Apart from this, the second one is what there? Web security. Web security. Guys, I'm asking one question to all of you. Now try to respond for me. Everybody, please respond to me. All of you are having Gmail accounts, am I right? Sir, all of you are having Gmail accounts, am I right? Definitely, it's mandatory to have Gmail account. If you want to learn courses at Durgasoft, it's mandatory. Why? Because we are providing that videos access and everything through Google Drive access. That means all videos we are providing through what their Google Drive access. So because of that reason, everybody must have what their the Gmail account. Recognize this, what I'm telling you. Fine. For example, I want to open the Gmail account, guys. I want to open my Gmail. Then what I have to do? If I want to open Gmail there, then what we have to do? First, we have to open the browser. There we have to enter then gmail.com in the address bar. That means just we can identify this clearly. Then what we are doing there? www.gmail.com. If I provide this gmail.com, then what it is asking is now tell me. Email, it is asking there. Something else, I provided something else now, right? Click on next button. Now what is asking there? Some password. Okay, fine. For example, @gmail.com. Then get what it is asking there? It's asking about something else. I think so. Then it's not allowed here. Then it has to check that whether data is or not. Something else. Then if I click on this next button here, it's asking about password. In the case I confirmed it, I don't have any account with the Gmail. Then what we have to do there? I need to click on what there? Create account button. Am I right or not? There we have to click on what there? Create account button. If I click on this create account button here, automatically it's asking there. Now it is asking about two fields. What are the two fields it is asking there? Create a Google account. What is asking there? Create Google account. And surname is what there? Optional, that we have to provide. Click on next button like this now. Then it is asking some content here. And finally, we are going to provide like what there? We are going to submit all of our data. And finally, if we click on this submit button, Finally, that account will be created. When account is created here, then what we have to do there? When account is created, here we have to provide something else like what there, username and password there we have to provide. Yeah, guys, now checking whether a particular user is a valid user or not through this Gmail login form, through this Gmail, or like what there username and password, what we are checking there, whether a particular user is a valid user of this particular application or not, that we are checking. So this process is called as what there, authentication. This process is called as what there, authentication. Guys, observe carefully. So in Gmail, not only in the case of Gmail, there we can take like what there, Facebook. There we can take like what there, not only Facebook, not only Gmail. There we can take like what there, Facebook. Here we understood it clearly. Gmail is okay. Next one is Twitter or whatever it may be. Any web application nowadays, if we take now, there we have to, we must be authenticated. We must be authenticated. So what's the meaning of authenticated here? Just we have to check username and password, what we entered, which are valid or invalid. If they're valid by comparing with their database content, then automatically that user is a valid user, that access is available for that user to in the application. For example, if that user is not valid user, if he is an invalid user, that person will not have access in the application then, unable to access the other content here. So finally, altogether what I am telling there, web security is somewhat associated with authentication and authorization mechanisms. Web security is somewhat authenticated with, somewhat associated with, like what there, what concepts here no, we can understand in what content here, that web security is available there. That web security is associated with authentication and authorization mechanisms. Authorization is available, guys, having some special permissions to access the secure data, more secure data inside the application. There also a user will be checked whether that user is right user or not to check our secure resource. So their authorization is required. Authentication and authorization, they are the two things, they are the two factors which are involved inside the web security. All right, now the point here, what I am telling there, Java is providing web security. Java is providing web security by having a middleware service internally. A middleware service internally. What is that middleware service? Middleware service internally in the form of JAWS. Guys, now tell me what is the meaning of this JAWS? No, by having middleware service internally, then the meaning of JAWS is what there? Java authentication and authorization service. Java authentication and what next one here? Authorization service. So Java authentication and authorization service. Because of this Java authentication and authorization middleware service, that web security will be very good in the case of Java. Right, sir. In web applications, we are going to use this security related content. There we are able to get some clarity. Okay, right, sir. Now this is about like what I'm telling to you, web security. Java is providing web security by having a middleware service internally in the form of JAWS, Java authentication and authorization service. It's okay, nice, good. Then after this, after completion of this, last one is what there, third one is what there, network security. Network security. All right, what is this network security? How we are able to get this network security? How it is possible to provide this network security? All right, if you understand this point clearly, answer is very clear. First of all, what are this network security? Security must be applied to the data while transferring the data in the network. When the data is transferred in the network, while transferring the data in the network, if we provide security for the data, then that security is called network security. Understand the point clearly, what I am telling you now. If you provide security for the data while transferring the data, then that security is called as what there, network security. All right, now understand it clearly. Java is providing Java is providing very good implementations, for the network security algorithms. Network security algorithms are like what there? Encryption and decryption algorithms majorly. At sender side, we have to implement encryption. At the receiver side, we have to implement what the decryption. So encryption and decryption mechanisms are nothing but what there? Network security algorithms. Network security. Java is providing a very good implementations for the network security algorithms. Okay, network security algorithms. So because of that reason, Java is providing network security. It's a very good network security it is providing there. For the network security algorithms which are used frequently in the network applications. Yeah, definitely. So because of these three reasons why Java is what there? A secure programming language. Come again guys, what are the points can I discuss with you about this security? If you understand it, Java is a secure programming language. Why? Because Java is able to provide the following three levels of security. The first one is like what I am telling to you, implicit security. The second one is what their web security. Third one is what their network security. Alright, to provide implicit security, Java has provided a separate component internally inside the JVM, that is security manager. Web security. Java is providing web security by having a middleware service internal in the form of JAS, Java Authentication and Authorization Service. Network security. Java is providing very good implementations for the network security algorithms which are used network security algorithms which are used frequently in the network applications or in the Java applications. So because of these three reasons why we can conclude that Java is what there? A secure programming language. Right, sir. Because of these three reasons, here we can conclude that Java is what there? A secure programming language. Right, sir. This is exactly the meaning of like what there? Security related content here we are discussing clearly. Guys, all of you please respond to me. All of you are getting clarity on these points now. All of you are getting clarity on these points. All of you are understanding. Everybody, please respond to me, guys. Come on, everybody. I think some people just open the webinar only. They are not listening the class. I'm getting notifications here through my webinar. Everybody, guys, understand it clearly. Right now, even then, instead of canceling the class, at least we are connecting class. That is appreciable for everybody, guys. Then you are attending the class. That's perfect. Then even otherwise, I have to cancel the classes. But luckily, we have technology then to conduct the class in online. Already we are I'm following that. That's why here we are getting some advantage. So without missing any class, we can conduct the classes effectively. That's why as part of it only should have taken the responsibility of taking the classes, right? And the good news is what? Good thing is what there? Everybody they attended the class now. Both the members are attending the class now. Then both offline students and as well as online students, they're attending the class now. Right? That's nice. Then good thing. Fine. Anyway, then what is the point here I'm telling to you about this? Just we are talking about the Java features where security is one of the feature here we provided. In that security features here, what I'm telling now, if any programming language is providing these three types of securities, that programming language is what? A secure programming language. First one is what? Implicit security. Second one is what there? Web security. Third one is what there? Network security. Okay, in the web security, implicit security point of view, internal to the Java, if you provide security, then that is what their implicit security. To maintain that implicit security, there is a separate component inside the JVM, that is security manager. Web security, web application security means that authentication and authorization. To provide authentication and authorization for the web applications, to provide authentication and authorization for the web applications, Java has provided a separate middleware service. That separate middleware service is nothing but what they JAWS. Because of providing this JAWS, JAS, JAWS, Java is very good at web security. Third one is what they, now we can conclude that the third one is like what I'm telling to you, network security. Network security in the sense like what they, whenever we are working with a network application, network based applications in the sense we have to transfer the data from client to server. Or at client machine we have a program, at server machine we have a program. Then in the network based applications, or maybe web application, or maybe distributed application, whatever it may be, there we have to transfer the data from might be one machine to another machine. But if you transfer the data from one machine to another machine as the plain text data, everybody can see the data in the network, everybody can get our data. In the case, if I submit that username and password for my bank account as a plain text data in the network, then everybody can take my username, that means my bank details, username and password, and account number and everything. That users, that means some other persons may take the data from the network. Nowadays, then cracking the network is nothing. It's very simple. Everybody will take our data. So to avoid this kind of security problems, what we have to do there, I need to maintain some encryption decryption mechanisms. What's the meaning of encryption and decryption mechanism? No, what data, secure data we want to transfer from client to the server. First of all, at client side, we have to encrypt the data. What data we want to submit there, the data you must be encrypted. Encryption in the sense some encoding mechanisms there now. All right, that encrypted data has to be transferred over the network. At the other end, server side, server is able to take that encrypted data. It will perform decryption. After performing decryption, the data will be used in the applications. But while transferring the data from client to the server, we need to transfer the data that other persons may see the data, but they should not be in understand. They should not be in a position to understand our data. That means our data is in a different form. Our data is not like is a plain text data. No, our data is in a different form. So when our data is in a different form, whenever our data is in different form, even though the third party users can read the data, but they are unable to understand it, so they are unable to use our data in their applications. So automatically here we are providing what their security we are providing for the data which is transferring in the network. We are providing security for the data which is transferring in the network. So the data, the security which we provided to the data which is in transferring the network, so that security, what is the security here we are providing? Now this security is called as what there? Network security. Then this type of security is called as what there? Network security. As guys, all of you are getting my point clearly, what I am telling to you, right? All of you are okay? All of you are getting it clearly, right? So this is exactly the meaning of like what there? Network security. Guys, all of you understand it clearly. Next one is after that, multi-threaded programming language. Right, sir. What is the next one here we are understanding there? Network, that means multi-threaded programming language. What is this multi-threaded programming language? What you are understanding about this multi-threaded programming language? First of all, before understanding this multi-threaded programming language, first of all, what is a thread? What exactly the meaning of thread? What you are understanding about the thread? Right, I'll give some points to you, try to understand it clearly. Thread is a flow of execution to perform a particular task. Thread is a flow of execution to perform a particular task. All right, thread is a flow of execution to perform a particular task. We cannot see threads explicitly, but we will see the result of these threads. We will see the results of these threads. As for example, in the simple comparison I'm telling here, take one electric wire, and that electric wire provide bulbs in random locations. See, when we keep that electric wire in a socket, and if we switch on the socket, what is going to be happen? What is going to be happen? That electricity, that power will pass through a wire or not? When power is coming to the first bulb is in glow mode. When power is coming to the second bulb, now the second bulb is in glow. When the power is coming to the third bulb and all the remaining bulbs, no, automatically that all the bulbs are in what there in a glow mode. That means on mode. So here in this comparison, we can understand all the bulbs are nothing but Java code or Java lines, Java instructions. But internally, when power is coming to the bulbs, when power is coming across the bulbs, so the internal power, whatever the power it is coming there, that is nothing but what there a thread. We are unable to see that power. We are unable to see that electricity. But the result of this electricity is what there bulb should be in on mode. Another bulb should be in what there on mode. So getting that bulbs in on mode is a result of the that power flow. Similarly, Java program we have written 100 lines of code here we have written, but somebody else has to execute each and every line one by one like this. That somebody else is nothing but what their flow of execution. That flow of execution is also be called as what there a thread. Right, sir? No, that's why here I given the definition like what there thread is a flow of execution to perform a particular task. Thread is a flow of execution to perform a particular task. This is the meaning of like what there a thread. Thread is a flow of execution to perform a particular task. It's okay, fine. How many thread models are available? How many thread models are available? If you understand these threads like this, how many thread models are available? There are two thread models. There are two thread models. What are the two thread models? No, first one is the single thread model, and next one is like what there multi-thread model. All right. What is this single thread model and what is this multi-thread model? Here we have to understand the points. All right. Now here we can understand it clearly. Single thread model allows only one thread to execute the complete application. Single thread model allows only one thread to execute the complete application. But what about this multi-thread model? It allows more than one thread. It allows more than one thread to execute the complete application. Right, guys. Now understand it clearly. It allows more than one thread to execute the complete application. It allows only one thread to execute the complete application. It allows more than one thread to execute the complete application. That's okay, fine. Guys, just remember one point I'm telling to you. If a task is available, if a work is available, if that work is done by only one user, it will take some time. If the same work is done by 4 members at a time, by sharing their work, then automatically time will be reduced. Am I right or not? Only one person is doing that work in the sense sequential approach. But multiple members are doing the same work parallelly in the sense like what they're parallel execution. Always in sequential execution, more execution time will be taken. Always in parallel execution, less execution time will be taken. Execution time is the important point here we have to understand. More execution time or less execution time. In the case of only one person, more execution time. In the case of multiple members for the same work, less execution time. Wherever execution time is more, their performance will be less. Wherever execution time is less, where performance will be more. So now here we can understand in this particular context, what is the point here I'm telling to you in this particular scenario. Try to understand the point here, what I'm telling to you in this particular case. No, single thread model, it follows sequential execution. It follows what execution here? Sequential execution. But in the case of multi-thread model, it follows like what there? It follows parallel execution. Understand it clearly. It follows what there? Parallel execution. Next one is, in the case of the sequential, in the case of single thread model, when it is following sequential execution, it will take more execution time. It takes more execution time. It takes more execution time. Now here, in the case of this multi-thread model, it takes less execution time. It takes like what the less execution time. In the case of single thread model, when it takes more execution time, automatically what is the status of the performance here? It takes more execution time here. When it takes more execution time, it reduces application performance. It reduces application performance. But now here, what happened there? When it takes less execution time, it will improve. It improves application performance. It improves what their application performance. That's it. Understand my point clearly. So first of all, what I discussed with you, what is a thread? Thread is a flow of execution to perform a particular task. Good. How many thread models are available, guys? There are two thread models. What are the two thread models? Can you know? First one is like what there, single thread model. Second one is what there, multi-thread model. If you understand the points in the case of single thread model, what are the various points are available here? It allows only one thread to execute the complete application. It follows sequential execution. It takes more execution time. It reduces application performance. Multi-thread model. It allows more than one thread to execute the complete application. It follows parallel execution. It takes less execution time, and it improves application performance. It improves what their application performance. That's it. So this is what exactly the meaning of multi-thread model and single thread model. Now I'm giving one conclusion, guys. Now try to understand it clearly. Java is following multi-thread model. It's very clear. Java is following what their multi-thread model. When Java is following multi-thread model, automatically Java programming language is what their multi-threaded programming language. So Java is following multi-thread model. So Java is able to provide an environment. Java is able to provide an environment. Java is able to provide an environment to create and execute more than one thread at a time. So Java is able to provide an environment to create and execute more than one thread at a time. Therefore, so by seeing all these points, clearly we can identify this clearly. Therefore, due to the above reasons, Java is a multi-threaded programming language. Java is what their multi-threaded programming language. That's it, guys. So Java is what their multi-threaded programming language. That's all. So this is exactly the meaning of like what their multi-threaded programming language content. Right. Once again, now try to understand the point here. What I've given there. Multi-threaded is a point here I've given there. Thread is a flow of execution to perform a particular task. There are two thread models. What are the two thread models now? Single thread model, multi-thread model. In the case of single thread model, what we are getting there, it allows only one thread to execute the complete application. It follows sequential execution. It takes more execution time. It reduces application performance. Multi-thread model, it allows more than one thread to execute the complete application. It follows parallel execution. It takes less execution time. It improves application performance. Java is following the multi-thread model. So Java is able to provide an environment to create and execute more than one thread at a time. Due to the above reason, Java is a multi-threaded programming language. That's okay, fine. Then what is the next one? Multi-threaded is okay. That we understood clearly. What about the next one, guys? Now tell me. What's your understanding the next one? The next one is like what there? Distributed programming. Next one is like what there? Distributed programming. Okay. Guys, just give a minute of time. I'll come back and I'll continue. Just 1 minute of time, guys. Mr. Babu? నేను వేసినట్లు లేదా మీకు? Guys, please confirm to me. All of your getting my voice on screen, guys. Now tell me, am I audible? Guys, please respond to me. All of you know, am I audible? All of you get my voice on screen. Am I audible? Yeah, it's okay, nice. Okay, right. Now let's move on to the next point. What is this next one again? No, distributed programming language. Distributed programming language. Yeah, guys, observe carefully. All of you know, distributed programming language. What is the meaning of this distributed programming language? We know already, guys, by using Java or maybe in general, there are two types of applications. We are able to prepare two types of applications in general in any programming language. Observe carefully, there are two types of applications here we are able to create. Raj. There are two types of applications. What are the two types of applications? Let's just give a minute of time. Yeah, it's okay, guys. Now let's move to the point here. There are two types of applications. What are the two types of applications here? The first one is like what there? Standalone applications. Second one is what there? Distributed applications. Standalone applications, and second one is what there? Distributed applications. Okay. Then what exactly the meaning of standalone application and what exactly the meaning of distributed application? Okay. We know already the standalone applications. If we design and execute any application without using client server architecture, without distributing application logic over multiple machines, then that application is called as what there? Standalone application. If we design and execute any application without using client server architecture or without distributing application logic over multiple machines, then that application is called a standalone application. If we design and execute any application without using client server architecture or without distributing application logic over multiple machines, then that application is called a standalone application. Similarly, what is the meaning of this distributed application? What is the meaning of distributed application here? No? Quite opposite of this standalone application. Quite opposite of standalone application is what there. We can identify this. What is the quite opposite part here? If we design and execute any application on the basis of the client server architecture and or 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 by distributing application logic over the multiple machines, then that application is called as what? A distributed application. Distributed application. Right. Now this is exactly the meaning of like what there standalone application. Another one is what there distributed application. That's okay, fine. Then what next one here after this? After understanding these two, no standalone application and distributed application here. After understanding these concepts here, what next one here we are able to understand now? After this, Java is a distributed programming language. Java is a distributed programming language. Why? Because Java has provided a separate module to prepare distributed applications, that is J2EE. That is what the J2E module was provided by Java. Because of this reason, we can conclude that Java is what there a distributed programming language. Java is a distributed programming language because of this particular reason. What is the reason here? Java has provided a separate module. A separate module in the sense like what we are understanding there. A separate like what there a separate content is provided. A separate environment is provided to prepare these distributed applications. So because of this reason, we can conclude that Java is what there a distributed programming language. Right, now it is completed. After understanding the distributed programming language, this punch here, next one is what the two more points are remaining guys. Now let's understand these two more points here. Interpretive programming language. Yeah. Everybody try to understand this interpretive programming language, what I am telling to you. What I am telling to you. Interpretive programming language in the sense, what's the meaning of it now? Understand it? If any programming language, sorry, now directly I'm giving the point here, directly understand it now. Java is both compilative and an interpretive, and what there an interpretive programming language. Java is both comparative and interpretive programming language. Why? Because what is the reason here? Why? Because reason number one, just note today also we have given some point, or starting multiple classes I have given one point here. To convert Java from bytecode to native code. To convert Java from bytecode to native code and to check errors. To check like what their errors. To check what their errors. To check errors, we need compilation. Again, here I'm telling you to convert Java from bytecode to native code and to check developers' mistakes. To check developers' mistakes, we need what there? We need compilation. That's okay, fine. This is one point here we required. Because of this reason, we can conclude that Java is a comparative programming language. Next one is what? Guys, now I'm asking one question to you. Now try to answer for it. Who is executing Java programs actually? Who is executing Java programs actually? Yes, sir. Who is executing Java programs? JVM. JVM. Perfect answer. All of you are giving right answers. JVM. That's nice. But my next question, you have to answer for me. My next question. Inside the JVM, who is executing Java programs? Inside the JVM, who is executing Java programs? Come on. Inside the JVM, who is executing Java programs? Inside the JVM, an interpreter will execute Java program. Inside the JVM, an interpreter will run Java program. Inside the JVM, an interpreter will run Java program. So because of this reason, we can conclude that Java is what there? An interpretive programming language. Java is what there? An interpretive programming language. Right. To execute Java applications, we need an interpreter inside the JVM. So because of these reasons, because of all these reasons, we can conclude that Java is what there, both compilative and as well as like what there, interpretive programming language. Java is both compilative and interpretive programming language. Why? Because to convert Java program from bytecode to native code, to convert Java programs from bytecode to native code, and to check developers' mistakes, we need compilation. To execute Java applications, we need an interpreter inside the JVM. So Java is what there, both compilative and as well as like what there, an interpretive programming language. It's okay, guys. Just leave this one. Get this is about like what there, interpretive programming language. Leave this one. Next one is what? After this, here we can identify this clearly. Last one, high performance programming language. Guys, high performance programming language in the sense, I'll give some clarity. Now try to understand this point clearly. Everybody. See, no separate reasons are available for the Java and its high performance. Directly, a simple conclusion here I'm telling to you. Understand it. Java is a high performance programming language. Java is a high performance programming language due to its rich set of features. Due to its rich set of features. Guys, understand my point, what I'm telling you. Java is a high performance programming language due to its rich set of features. Like, what are the various features now? One is what there, multi-threaded, comma. Next one is what there, platform independent. Next one is what there, hardware independent. Next one is what there, portable. Then after this, portable, robust. Then after this, dynamic, and so on and so on. Of course, secure, and so on and so on and so on. Due to these measures, we can conclude that Java is like what there, high performance programming language. Right, guys? Now these are about totally like what there, Java features here, what we are having clearly. Okay, these are all like what there, Java features here, what you are getting clearly. Guys, all of you are getting clarity on this, what I'm giving there, clarity. Java features topic is completed. Then after completion of the Java features, there we have to discuss about the new topic that will be like what there, Java naming conventions is a new topic, guys. Then this one here we have to understand clearly. What's the new topic there? Java naming conventions. So this I will discuss with you on tomorrow, guys. Today it's sufficient, then everything is fine. Then tomorrow I will discuss about the Java naming conventions topic. Okay. Right, guys. That's all for today. Thank you for attending in online, all of you. Thank you for your cooperation. Tomorrow also we can continue in the same online classes, no? Then next day onwards, I'll conduct maximum. I'll conduct in offline classes, but try to attend the classes in online and tomorrow. Why? Because I don't want to miss these classes here and tomorrow. That means in this I don't want to give holidays. So because of the reason, try to attend the classes in online on a day after tomorrow. That means on like what there day after tomorrow, as much as possible, I'll come to the Hyderabad and I will take your offline class and as well as online classes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. We'll meet on tomorrow at 8:30. We'll meet tomorrow at 8:30. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you for your support.